All right, welcome to All Fit Online, broadcasting out of Raleigh, North Carolina. We're going to walk you through a workout. We always start with core, so we're going to be down on the mats, starting out in a bicycle crunch. Bicycle is bringing your elbow up and across to your opposite knee. You can do it like Val with both feet elevated, or have both feet planted on the ground, picking up only the crossover one, making sure that you're only working your abs. Try not to compensate with any other part of your body. Keep breathing the whole time. You shouldn't be holding your breath at any point. Exhale every time an elbow hits a knee. Keep it slow. Focus on using just your abs. Don't use any other part of your body. The slower you go and the more focus you put on the target zone, the better results you're going to get. Good. Keep breathing. Really focus on that core. Try not to hold your head up with your hands. You should be using your neck muscle. Keep your hands by your ears if you're doing that. Put strain on your neck. All right, good. We're going to transition into front leg lift. You're going to have your hands right by your side, lifting your legs up. Hips up off the ground, straight above your hips, your feet. If you need extra lower back support, slide your hands underneath your lower back and do it from there. You should be exhaling at the top. Should be using your upper abs right under your rib cage to lift your hips up off the mat, and using your lower abs down by your pelvis to lower your legs slowly to the ground. Control your legs both directions. If the load is too heavy on the way to the ground, bend your knees on the way down, and then straighten them back out for the way back up. Keep breathing the whole time. Exhale at the top. Inhale slowly on while you're raising your legs down to the ground. Good. Keep breathing. You shouldn't be holding your breath at any point. All right, good. Over on your stomach. Hands right by your head. Crunching your chest up off the ground using your lower back. Exhaling at the top crunch. Inhaling slowly on the way back down to the ground. Make sure you keep your toes on the ground. Toes on the ground the whole time. You don't want to pick up your toes off the ground. It's bad for your spine. Just lift your upper body up off the ground as high as you can with your feet still on the ground. Use your lower back. Exhale at the top. Inhale slowly on the way back down to the mat as you lower yourself down to the ground using muscle control. You don't want to just let your body fall back down to the ground. Keep breathing the whole time. You shouldn't be holding your breath in any movement. Keep oxygen flow to the muscles. Exhale at the top. Inhale slowly on the way back down. Squeeze in the lower back. You might even get a glute and hamstring squeeze at the top also. Try and pause at the top and then slowly lower yourself to the ground. All right, good. From that position, up on your elbows and toes, you're going to be in a plank position. It's called plank because your body's supposed to be flat. So pushing off of your toes so that your chin is out over your hands or in front of your hands. We're going to do it for a minute. All right, ready, go. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. Shouldn't be holding your breath through this either. Try and keep the same kind of rhythm of breathing that you would have in a repetitious exercise. 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out. Don't panic at any point to waste the oxygen. If you need to, just tap a knee down and then pop right back up into plank. It's more beneficial to stay flat and tap a knee down than to pop up your hips up and keep them high the whole time. 30 seconds left. Keep breathing. Push off on your toes to make sure your body is flat. If your head is out over your hands, it's kind of impossible to have your hips too high in the air. 15 seconds left. You're almost there. Good. Keep breathing. Don't give up at this point. You got 10 now. Just breathe your way through it. Keep your abs tight, pushing off on your toes. And rest. Good. You're going to do 3 more rounds of that core circuit. Just take a breather, get a sip of your water. Relax your abs for a second. Make sure you're sipping on water throughout the whole workout. Before and after workouts, you should always be fully hydrated, especially after. Should be replacing every pound of sweat that you lose with 1 liter of water. Make sure you're eating a snack before your workout, half hour to an hour before. Depends on how your stomach is. All right, let's get back into that second round now. Going to start out in bicycle, same way we did last time. Bring your knee across to the opposite wrist. And if you're just starting out, one way to learn the muscles to engage in this exercise is to start with both feet on the ground. Only pick up the one that you're crossing over to the opposite elbow. Really focus on those ab muscles, the ones that we're supposed to be working. Really focus on your core. Once you get a little bit more advanced, or if that seems too easy, both feet up off the ground, extending the one that's not crunching to the opposite elbow. Keep breathing, exhaling when elbow hits a knee. And take your time. Really focus on those ab muscles. Don't just go through the movement. Good. Keep breathing. Good. Front leg lift. Hands right by your hips. Palms down on the ground. Head back. Picking your legs up straight. Hips up off the ground and lower them back down slow. Use your ab muscles to raise your legs up off the ground and then to lower them back down to the ground. If the load is too heavy on the way back down, just bend your knees, return down, and then lift them back up straight. Make sure you're crunching with your abs. If you need extra lower back support, you can put your hands under your lower back. If you get a lower back pain when you're lowering your legs to the ground, it's a good way to give yourself some extra support. Just slide them right under your glutes and support your lower back as you lower your legs down. Make sure you're doing the crunch at the top with your feet going straight up above your hips. Good. Keep breathing. Exhale at the top when you do your little crunch at the top. You're almost there. 5 more seconds. Good. Over on your stomach. Hands by your head, doing a reverse crunch. Squeeze your lower back with your toes grounded the whole time. Exhale all the way up. And once you reach that peak contraction, you want to breathe all the rest of your air out. Keep your toes on the ground. Inhale slowly on the way back down. And then as you're crunching your way up, slowly exhale. Release all the air at the top and repeat. Make sure you're squeezing your lower back. You might even be squeezing your glutes a little bit. They're really close in proximity and attachment to each other. Usually lower back injuries stem from tight glutes and hamstrings. So stretching is a good way to alleviate pain, but also building your core like we're doing here. Good. Keep breathing. Exhale at the top. Slowly inhale on the way down. Control your breathing and your movement. Always control the weight that you're using. In this case, it's your body weight. Good. Up on elbows and toes. 1 minute plank. Again, to make sure that you're in the flat plank position, push off on your toes so that your head's out over your hands. All right, let's start 1 minute. Ready, go. Keep some rhythm to your breathing. Again, 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out. Focus on your breathing while you're in this position. Keep your abs tight, pushing off on your toes, head out over your hands. If you need to take a quick break, tap your knee down. Don't raise your hips up. Just tap a knee down real quick. Get a quick breather and then pop right back up into the plank position. Eventually you can build up to a minute. 25 seconds left. Keep breathing. Pushing off on your toes. Make sure your head's out over your hands. Lower your hips a little bit. And keep breathing. 15 seconds left. Down to the last 10. Keep it up. Breathe your way through it. You're almost there. 5. And rest. Good. Got one more round of that circuit. Then we're going to move into a whole body workout. If you have anything that feels tight, stretch it out. If you need a sip of water, get a sip of water. Stay hydrated. If you ever feel thirsty at any point, it's a good sign that you are already dehydrated. All right, good. Let's get into the last round of core. Going to be in bicycle crunch. Flat on your back. If you're doing the beginner position, have your feet flat on the ground with your knees bent and only lift the knee towards the elbow of the crunching side. Squeeze your abs. Take your time. Make sure you're feeling it in just your abs. Don't pull on your head and neck. Just place your hands by the sides of your head. And once you get advanced enough, both feet off the ground, extending the opposite of the one touching the elbow. Make sure you're breathing the whole time, exhaling every time an elbow hits a knee. Take your time. Make sure you're using only your abs. Don't just go through the movement. It's about slow and controlled reps, focusing on the target zone. Quality reps. It's not about quantity. You can do a million bad reps that won't do you any benefit. Good. Keep breathing. Shouldn't be holding your breath at any point. Take your time. Focus on your core. All right, good. Front leg lifts. Hands, palms down right next to your hips, or if you need extra lower back support, slide your hands right under your glutes or your lower back. So when you lower your legs to the ground, you're supporting your lower back. Feet up, crunching your feet straight to the ceiling above your hips. Keep breathing the whole time. Should feel it in your upper abs right under your ribs as you're doing that crunch up, and then feel it in your lower abs down by your pelvis as you're lowering your legs to the ground. Exhaling at that top crunch part, inhaling as you slowly lower your legs to the ground. Try and keep your legs as straight as possible. Get enough oxygen to your body. Keep breathing. Good, just do the best you can. Every day should be a little bit of improvement. Five more seconds in this exercise. Just get as many as you can. All right, good. Over on your stomach. Hands by your head again. Reverse crunch. Raising your chest off the ground using your lower back. Keeping your toes grounded. Only raise your chest up off the ground as far as you can go with your toes still on the ground. It's bad for your spine to lift your toes up off the ground. You want to protect your lower back and your spine. Practice good posture. Exhale at the top. Inhale slowly as you lower your body to the ground. Use your muscles to lower yourself down to the ground. Don't let gravity take over. It's important to control the weight that you're using. Exhale all your air out at the top. Inhale slowly on the way back down. Make sure you're squeezing your lower back. Keep breathing the whole time. Focus on that lower back, glute and hamstring area. Squeeze, lower yourself down slow. Good. Elbows and toes for the last plank and the last core exercise. I'm going to do one more minute. Ready, go. Up on elbows and toes, pushing off on your toes. Your head should be out over your hands. You should be able to put your chin right into your hands if you're out far enough. It's a good way to check and make sure that your hips are flat. It's really hard to get your hips high with your head that far in front of your elbows. Keep breathing the whole time. Don't hold your breath. Keep the same rhythm that you would have for repetitions, 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out. If you need a quick breather, just tap a knee down and get right back up into plank. Don't raise your hips up. Save your abs. "20 seconds left. Keep breathing. You're almost there. You're doing good. Hips a little bit lower. There you go. 10 seconds. You're almost there. Doing really good. Just breathe your way through it now. 5. And rest. Good job. All right. Get a sip of water. Take a breather for a minute before we start the whole body exercise workout. So to get ready for your first exercise, you want to get a medium to heavy set of dumbbells that you have. Should have at least 3 to 4 sets of dumbbells at home to do all the workouts and exercises properly. You don't have to, but to get the most effective workout, it's good to have a set of weights that's going to be really challenging all the way down to a set of weights that's going to be minimally challenging. All right, good. Hopefully you've caught your breath by now. You're going to be up on your feet for this first exercise. And the first one we're going to do is called bent over row. So just like in the name, you're going to be bending over. A good way to find the position where you want your body to be is like if you're playing the infield in baseball or even the ready position for football. They call this athletic position for a reason. It's the ready position for your body. So you're going to put your hands on your knees, and this position that your body is in is where your lean should be. Then from there, with your dumbbells, you're just going to turn your palms facing away from you and pulling your hands towards your belly button, squeezing your shoulder blades in the back. Exhale when your dumbbells are up at your belly button. Inhale slowly as you lower the weights down under your control, back to neutral. Let all the tension out of your back and arms, and then contract again on the way back up. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. You shouldn't be holding your breath at any point in this movement. Breathe out all your air. You want to make sure you're leaning far enough forward so that you're not working your shoulders. Squeeze your shoulder blades in the back. Those are the muscles that we're targeting. Try and touch your shoulder blades together around your spine. It's not possible to do, but that's a good way of making sure you're working the right muscle. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Keep breathing the whole time. Keep your abs tight. Make sure your knees are always bent. Keep your body in that athletic position. If you lose ground to where you are, just reset where you started from with your hands on your knees and then start back over again. Keep breathing the whole time. You guys are doing good. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Good. Hold this last rep up for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest. We're going to have 3 more sets of that exercise. Typically, you hear about most sets done in sets of 3, or most exercises done in sets of 3. We don't always stick to that standard per se. You can work your muscles differently if you do more sets of some things and then move on to something that would be considered an assistance muscle to that. There's always varying set ranges and rep ranges. That's how we get the most out of our workouts. All right, second set of that. Reset yourself, hands on your knees. Feel where your body is supposed to be. Then grab your dumbbells, and from there you're rowing your hands up to your belly button, lowering your weights back down slowly, release all the tension, and then pull again, squeezing your shoulder blades behind you, breathing the whole time, exhaling when your dumbbells are at your belly button, squeezing your shoulder blades, release all the air, inhale slowly as you lower your dumbbells back down to neutral. Make sure your abs are tight. Should be supporting your upper body with your core. Keep your head up. Look straight forward. Good. Squeezing those shoulder blades. Release all the tension at the bottom. And then get ready to contract again. Good. Let's go 5 more seconds on this set. And rest. Good. Got 2 sets left of that. We're at the halfway point of that exercise. Take your time in between sets. Get a sip of water if you need to. Shake out your arms. If you're just starting out, maybe figure out what weights you need to be using. You should be doing each set to a point where you feel like you almost can't do anymore. If you're not feeling that way, or if you feel like it's too easy, just grab a heavier set of dumbbells or try and do more controlled repetitions in each set. Just do your rhythm a little bit faster and keep them under control though. It's still about quality reps. All right, next set, grab your dumbbells, get your body in the ready position, and then rowing your hands up to your belly button, squeezing your shoulder blades in the back. Exhaling at the top, breathing all your air out. Inhale slowly on the way down, release the tension, and repeat. Really control your breathing. It'll help you with your reps. It'll help you get more reps. It'll also help you keep control of your weights as you're doing them. Try and match up the rhythm of your breathing to the rhythm of your repetitions. It's not a race. It's not to see who can do more. How many quality reps can you do while working your muscles to fatigue? Squeezing in the back, lowering them slowly back down to neutral and releasing all the tension. Good. Make sure your elbows are coming straight back along the sides of your body. 5 seconds left in this set. Keep breathing. You're almost there. And rest. Good. You guys got 1 set left. Shake out your arms. Prepare for your last set. Catch your breath if you need to. Get a set of higher dumbbells if you need to do that. Or if you feel like you're not able to work out the entire set, then lower your dumbbells and work your way up to the ones that you started with. All right, last set. Make sure you're starting in the athletic position, abs tight, knees bent, palms facing away from you, rowing your hands up to your belly button, squeezing your shoulder blades in the back, then lowering your dumbbells back down slowly. Take your time with the squeeze at the top. That's where it counts. Just as contracted as your back muscles will get. It's really where you want to feel the burning. Exhaling all your oxygen out at the or carbon dioxide out of the top. Slowly inhaling as you lower your weights to the ground. Release all the tension at the bottom. And then get ready to contract again. You might feel a little bit of burning in your biceps. That's okay. It's an assistance muscle for this exercise. When you're doing free weight exercises, there's a lot of times you're going to recruit some assistance muscles to help that core muscle do the exercise. That's very common. 10 seconds left on this set. Rep it out. Make sure you're doing as many as you can to where you feel like you can't do any more. 5 seconds left. And rest. Good. Good job. Get a sip of water, take a breather, and set up for your next exercise. We're going to keep those same dumbbells for the next one. All right, good. We're going to be up on our feet. This next one's going to be a leg exercise. It's going to hold your dumbbells by your side. You don't have to have any tension on your arms for this one. Feet should be hip width and we're going to do a squat with your dumbbells. If you're just starting out and you've never done a squat before, you can do these without dumbbells. It's for any squat that you do, and we're going to do several different kinds of them. Your first movement is always going to be hips back. A lot of times people have a tendency to drop their knees forward. A squat isn't an exercise that's supposed to be hinging around the knees. It's all about the hips. So stick your hips back, sitting low, so where your knees are at 90, and then raising yourself back up. So it's hips back, sit them low. It's like you're searching for that seat behind you and you're not exactly sure where it is. Just keep lowering yourself slowly, bringing yourself back up. All your pressure should be coming from your heels on your kick back up to standing. If you're just starting out and you have a stability ball at home, you can put the ball between the wall and your back and roll yourself down the wall. It'll help give you that 90-degree on your knees. So you don't want your knees ever going in front of your toes. If you look down and you can't see toes, you know you need to stick your hips back a little bit farther. Keep all the pressure on your heels. Keep your head up. You want to keep a flat back as you're going down. Keep breathing. Exhale on your way back up. Inhale slowly on the way down to 90. Breathe it all out on the way back up. Just keep your arms loose. You don't need to have any tension. You don't need to curl them up as you come up. Just keep your arms hanging. You don't have to have dumbbells if you're just starting out. You got 5 more seconds in this set. Keep breathing. Keep your head focused straight ahead. And rest. Good. Got 2 more sets of that exercise. So if you're still trying to figure out the squat and you're really a beginner, you want to find a chair in your, maybe a dining room chair or a more solid chair than, a lounging chair, and just sit your hips back. Maybe it'll give you more comfort that there's something underneath you to start out with. Lower yourself onto the chair and then stand straight up. But try and keep either way, try and keep your shoulders as much above your hips as you can. You don't want to hunch all the way forward and then just fall back into it, because that's bad form on a squat also. We're just working on all your leg strength. That's going to help build into a squat. All right, second set. All right, begin. Inhale slowly on the way down. Exhale and breathe all your air out on the way back up. Should be pushing from your heels and your midfoot. You should be able to wiggle your toes the whole way back up. If you're putting all the pressure on your toes, you need to sit back a little bit more. Concentrate on sticking your hips back first. So if you're just beginning, just focus on putting your hips back and then sit low. From here, your knee should be at about 90 degrees and your knee should be right above your ankle. If your knees are in front of your toes, you won't be able to see them. It's too acute of an angle for your knees. It'll create bad pressure on them. Good, keep breathing. Sit your hips back. Exhale all the way up, pushing from your heels. 5 seconds left. Good, keep breathing. And rest, good. Got 1 more set of those. Get and shake it out. A good way to alleviate some of the post-workout soreness is to do stretching after the workout, or to use those muscles again very lightly in another workout. So going for a walk for a half hour, or doing some squats without any weight, or less squats if you weren't using any weight in the workout, just to get some of the lactic acid out and alleviate some of that post-workout soreness. All right, let's get into the last set of these. Grab your dumbbells. You're going to slowly lower yourself down, putting your knees at 90, and bringing yourself back up, pressing from your heels and your midfoot. Shouldn't have any pressure on your toes. And if you're uncomfortable starting out, pushing from your heels and not putting much pressure on your toes, try it without dumbbells just for safety's sake. and then work your way into using dumbbells. Just put something behind you if you feel like you're going to fall back. Eventually you'll work your way to where you're more comfortable. Keep breathing the whole time. You shouldn't be holding your breath. Relax your arms. Only use your legs for this exercise. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. Good. Inhale slowly on the way down. Use your muscles to lower yourself down to 90. Push back with the same muscles on the way up. You don't want to fall into a squat and then press out of it. Trying to catch yourself at the bottom is bad for your knees also. Use your muscles. Good. Let's go 10 more seconds. This is the last set of these. Push out as many as you can in 10 seconds. Really work to muscle fatigue on this. Make sure you're getting the most out of your workout. All right, good. So you're only going to need one of those dumbbells for the next exercise. You can put one of them off to the side for now. At any point, if the weight that you're using is too much for you to use for that exercise, you can lower them. Make sure you're doing what you can do and not what you want to do. Work your way up to that. Make that one of your goals. Should be using a weight that you can control in every direction. Don't ever let the weight control you. That's how injuries happen. Always let your muscles do the movement. All right. Next exercise we're going to do is the reverse chop. So you can use just one of your dumbbells. You're going to get a two-handed grip on that. And in a quarter lunge or a third lunge position, both feet facing forward, you're going to go from your back hip, rotating up and above your front shoulder. You should feel this in your core. At this point is where you're going to feel this all on the side that you started with the dumbbell on, and rotate it back down. All the work here is done by rotating your core. You shouldn't be using or feeling your arms in this one as much as you do on your core. It's that outside oblique as you rotate right there. Exhaling at the top when the dumbbell is raised up. Inhale slowly as you lower it back down to your hip. You shouldn't be swinging the weight. If you're swinging the weight back down to your back hip, get a lower weight. You're good. Keep breathing the whole time. Make sure your feet are both pointed forward. That's where the challenge comes in here. You're working on core balance. So when you're at this point, it's going to feel like you want to fall this way. That's where you're going to use this, tighten it up, and control. If you need to bring your feet a little bit closer together, that's where you start out. And as you get more advanced, you can lengthen your lunge. All right, good. Now switch sides. You're going to put your other foot forward and going from the other hip up and above the other shoulder. So just same exact movement. Now you're just switching sides. Should be breathing the whole time. Exhale all the way at the top. Breathe all your air out. Inhale slowly as you lower the weight back down to your back hip. The longer the lunge, the more of a challenge. If you're just starting out, you can start with your feet pretty close together. If you rotate up, it'll allow you to use a little bit more of your leg strength to keep balance. But as you get more advanced, you want to lengthen your lunge, and it'll add more of a challenge to your core. Keep breathing the whole time. Exhale all the way at the top. Inhale slowly as you bring it back down to your hip. Good. Control the weight both ways. If you need to use a little bit longer of a rep rhythm and take a little bit longer of a rest in between each rep, that's fine. Just do each rep with quality. All right, good. Rest. We got 3 more sets on each side of that exercise. Going back and doing a little bit of core, but we're involving your legs a little bit and shoulders also. This is a good whole body exercise. Something that's going to work out everything a little bit at the same time. A little bit more of a calorie burn, which in turn adds a little bit more benefit to your workout. All right, go ahead and grab your dumbbell. We're going to go back into the original side that you started with. Make sure you're starting with the same side each time. Same foot forward, both toes pointed in the same direction. If you need to shorten your lunge, if you're just starting out, just work on the rotation of your core. Only use this part of your body to do the rotating. You shouldn't be using your arms to move. If you start here, it's follow with your eyes, just rotating from your core. Try and keep your arms as straight as possible. Exhale all the way at the top. Inhale as you slowly lower the weight back down to your hip. Take your time, just do one at a time. Make sure that you can do each one with proper form. Other way. Back hip, front shoulder. Mm-hmm. Good. Keep breathing. Take your time. Really focus on your form and technique. Don't worry about how many you do. Yep. All right, switch sides. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. Really focused on using your core to rotate here. Watching your weight with your eyes the whole way. Let your head rotate and swivel with your arms as your core rotates. Don't use your arms to do the movement. Take your time. If you need to take a little bit longer of a rep rhythm, that's fine. You can rotate up and back, take a quick break, rotate up and back again, or just lower your weight. Make sure you're able to do quality reps. Don't compensate form for number of repetitions. More reps does not equal better results. All right, good, rest. I have 2 more sets on each side of that exercise. Should be feeling a little bit more tired at this point than when we started. As muscles start to fatigue, your set length gets a little bit shorter, but make sure your repetitions stay quality. It's not about how many you do, it's about how many quality ones you do. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. Catch your breath at this point, get a sip of water. Make sure you're sipping on water the whole time. You don't want to chug any at any point. If you get that thirsty, you're obviously dehydrated. You need to hydrate better before your workouts and keep sipping during the workout. All right, next set. All right, go ahead. Remember, both toes are pointed in the same direction. The longer the lunge, the more challenge on your core. If you're just starting out, keep it in a short lunge. Really focus on your rotation. Squeezing your abs the whole way. Try not to compensate the movement with your arms. Really focus on that core. That's not to say that you won't be feeling it in other muscles, but your core focus is going to be on your abs here, specifically that outer oblique on the side of the hip that you're starting from. The more you can rotate, the more strain you're going to put on that oblique, and the more strength you're going to gain from that movement. Good, you can switch sides. Back hip to front shoulder. So you should be going from there up and around there. Yep. Good. This is the last set this round. You have one more set on each side after this. Good. Keep breathing. Exhale as you extend all the way above your shoulder. Inhale as you slowly lower it back down to your hip. Don't let the weight control you. Take your time. Do one at a time. All right, good. Rest. Got one more set on each side of that one. Take a breather. Shake it out. Get a sip of water. All right, let's do that last set.
That was so mean.
But no, I didn't mean for it to be mean.
All right, last set. In a lunge, going from your back hip up and above your front shoulder. Using your core to rotate, don't use your arms to swing. Should be able to follow your hands with your head. Keep your shoulders locked, and your head and hands should be moving together. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. Should not be holding your breath. If this is getting difficult, take a little bit longer for each repetition. There's no rush. Gather your breath and strength and do one at a time. Quality reps is what gets results, not quantity. All right, good. Switch sides. Back hip to front shoulder. Lengthen your lunge if this is too easy and you're not feeling it in your core. Shorten your lunge if you're feeling like you can't keep your balance and it's too difficult. Everybody has a starting point. You don't need to rush in to be doing it at the most difficult level. Work your way up there. That can be one of your goals. Start where your starting point is and work your way up to where it's the most challenging. Take your time. Just do one at a time. There's no rush. Exhale at the top. Inhale as you slowly lower it. And do one at a time. All right, good. Done with that exercise. Now, if you have a kettlebell at home that's of medium to low weight, go ahead and grab that. If you don't, just grab a medium to low weight dumbbell. They're going to be doing front kettlebell swings or front dumbbell swings. I've heard some people get kind of creative with jugs of laundry detergent that has a handle on it. If you want to give that a shot, go for it. But if you're sticking to the workout equipment, a dumbbell and a kettlebell are both good for this. So for the front swing, and if you have a dumbbell, you just get an overhand grip on one of the fat ends like this. For a kettlebell, both hands should be in an overhand grip. So like in a squat, your hip movement should be back. So it's sitting back, swinging the weight back between your legs, and then with a hip thrust forward, bringing your hands only up to collarbone height. Hips should be going back, lowering yourself down to 90 degrees, and using your hip thrust forward to bring the dumbbell up to shoulder height. Good. Take your time. Just do the best you can. Everybody's at a different level. You need to work at your level. Breathe your way through the exercise. Exhale all your air out at the top when the dumbbell or kettlebell is at shoulder height. Slowly inhale as you lower it back down. Squeeze your abs on the way down to lower it. This is a core and shoulder exercise. Should feel it a little bit in your glutes and hamstrings. Really keep your abs tight on the way down to protect your lower back. If you're feeling lower back pain in this exercise, you might be swinging your shoulders down too fast without bending your knees. Lower your whole body with the kettlebell or dumbbell. Absorb all that with your abs on the way down. Good. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. You shouldn't be holding your breath. Work at your pace. Good. Rest. Have 2 more sets of that exercise. Good. Sure you're getting really tired at this point. Make sure you're stretching out in between things that might be a little tight or sore. Catch your breath. Take some deep breaths. Get a sip of water. If you're getting lightheaded at this point, maybe take it easy. Lower your weight. Get a sip of water. Do your breathing. If this is too easy, grab a heavier weight or do more repetitions in each set. If you're getting pain in your lower back, your problem is probably that you're just swinging your shoulders down and up. Make sure you're lowering your hips as rapidly as you lower your shoulders. You should always have the same distance between your hips and shoulders. So what I mean by that is if you're going like this, you're decreasing the distance between your hip and shoulder. If I'm starting with this much space between hips and shoulders, I should maintain that much space the whole time. All right, second set. Keep pushing. You guys are doing good. Let's do the best you can. All right. Lower yourself down. Keep that same distance between hips and shoulders. It's a little bit of a glute and hamstring workout also. Use your hip thrust forward to get your kettlebell up to collarbone height, only collarbone height. Use your abs to help control the weight on the way back down. You need to tighten up, and it's almost like a reverse crunch on the way down, using your abs to lower the weight safely. Protect your lower back. Breathe your way through the whole movement. Shouldn't be holding your breath at any point. If it gets difficult to the point that you feel you can't do any more quality reps, take a break. Do the best you can in each set. All right, good, rest. One more set of that exercise. Really building on your core strength here. Building up on some of your glutes and hamstring strength. Stretch out your lower back a little bit. One good lower back stretch and strengthening is to do this position with your toes grounded, pushing off on your toes and pushing up on your hands. Squeeze your lower back, and that's going to help alleviate some lower back pain and also strengthen the muscles around your sore spot in your back. It's good to stretch out your back before you do exercises like this, or especially after. All right, last set of these. Let's get into it. Keep breathing.
That's my favorite set. We got this. Last set. Wow.
So last set of swings. Still have a couple more exercises. All right, let's do it. You guys are doing good. This is a pretty tough workout today. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. If you feel like you're not being challenged, increase your weight. If you feel like this is too challenging, decrease your weight. And if you're getting too much lower back pain, just put your weight down and do some squats. Just body weight squats. A little bit wider of a stance and just squat your way down. Just keep moving. Val has really good form here. Watch how she sits her hips back and lowers them back down to with the weight, squeezing her abs as she lowers the weight. Hip thrust the weight up. Use your abs to lower it back down. And rest. Good. You're done with any weights. The rest of them are going to be body weight exercises, so you can put your weights to the side. Some prefer the resting position like Annette is in. All right, so we're going to have 3 sets of push-ups as your next exercise. All right, push-up position. If you're advanced enough to do a full military push-up, hands right underneath your shoulders, up on your toes, flat back like we were in plank. Elbows pointed straight back as you lower yourself down to the ground. Elbows at 90, pressing yourself back out of it. Your elbows should be brushing by the sides of your body as you lower yourself to the ground. It's going to keep your shoulder in the socket naturally as it was supposed to be. Shoulder socket is front to back movement. cocking your elbows out to the side could create shoulder pain, including tendonitis. If you need to modify your push-up position, a good way to make sure your body stays flat is to start out on the ground and from your knees pressing your body up from the ground. Key is to keep your back flat, and like in your plank, you want to have your head all the way out in front of your hands. Only lower yourself as low as you can go with a flat back. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. Should be exhaling on your press off of the ground. Inhaling slowly as you lower yourself down into the push-up. All right, good. Rest. You have 2 more sets of that exercise. So to make sure that your elbows are in the right position and you're just starting out, put something in your armpit, and you have to keep it in your armpit the whole time you're doing this exercise. If it falls out, you know you're bringing your elbows out too wide. You really want to focus on keeping your elbows pointed back as you lower yourself down. One, it's working all the right muscles that you're supposed to be during a push-up, but it's also making sure that you're going to keep your shoulders healthy and pain-free. All right, second set. You really want to focus on a flat back in this exercise too. So if you're unsure, start flat on the ground and then press yourself out of there with a flat back the same way you do in a plank. If you think about it, this is essentially a moving plank. You should have a flat body the whole time, and the only difference is that you're on your hands, lowering yourself to the ground and getting back out. Elbows straight back. Just point your elbows straight behind your body. Keep your armpits really tight. You have your hands right under your shoulders to start out. All right, good. Rest. So this is, if you guys are having trouble figuring out where to start flat on the ground and put your hands right underneath your shoulders. With your armpits clenched tight, just pressing yourself out of there with a flat body. Lowering yourself back down so that your shoulders are right above your hands. If you need to do it from modified, it's the same thing. Keep your armpits tight. All right, last set. I want everybody to start flat on the ground this time. Put your hands right underneath your shoulders. With your armpits clenched tight, you're pressing yourself up with a flat body. Straight out of that position. Keep your body flat. Pushing up from there with your armpits clenched tight. And if you're just starting out and you can't do a push-up, that's all right. We can work on that. Start up in this position. Hands right under your shoulders, and slowly lower yourself all the way down to the ground, and then you can slinky your way back up. Slowly lower yourself back down to the ground. These are called doing negatives. They work on muscle strength as the muscle lengthens and stretches, and is just as beneficial as doing an exercise where you're working on the muscle as it contracts. You should really focus on keeping your chest tight. Armpits should be clenched. Elbows going straight back. Good, Annette. That's good. Much better. Keep breathing the whole time. It may make it more difficult to do it with this kind of form, but as you build strength, you'll build healthier strength with less chance of injury to your shoulder. All right, good. Done with that. You have one more exercise left, and then you're done for the day. Make sure you're getting sips of water in between sets, especially if you're sweating a lot. Should be at the point now where you almost feel like your body's done. Just got to do one more thing. Push yourself to the end. There's always benefit going all the way to the end, even if you have to modify a little bit or cut some of the sets short. Just do the best you can. If you do the best you can every time, that's the formula for getting results. Proper nutrition, doing the best you can. If you give it your all every time, you will get improvement. That's how it works. All right. Last thing you're gonna do is another core exercise, but we're also getting some shoulders, jumping your feet all the way up to your hands. Now you know why I had you doing push-ups last. If you can't do that, just walk 1 foot up at a time. All right, ready to go. We're going to do 3 30-second sets. All right, as many as you can do in 30 seconds. Ready, go. Really do the best you can. This is the last thing you have for today. Push yourself through it. And it'll be worth it in the end. Just keep going. Do the best you got. 15 seconds left. You're almost there. Keep breathing. Get some rhythm to your breathing. Match it up with the rhythm of your repetitions. 5 seconds left. And rest. Good. 2 more sets and then you're done. You guys are almost there. Should be thinking about what high protein meal you're going to make for after this. It's always good to get a lot of protein within 20 grams within a half hour of your workout, especially when you're doing resistance training like this. Your muscles use the protein to rebuild after a workout. You're actually creating small tears in your muscles doing a workout like this, and the repair for that is to eat a lot of protein. All right, good. Let's go into the next set. 30 seconds. Get yourself ready. Just do the best you can. You should be tired at this point. Ready, go. 30 more seconds. Push through it. Just keep pushing. Do the best you can. Jumping your hands to your feet or doing 1 step at a time, either way. Just keep moving. 15 seconds left. Good. Push yourself through it. You're almost there. You got 5 seconds left in this set. 5 seconds. If you can't do any more walking or jumping, just hold yourself in the push-up position. Good. Rest. Got 1 more set left. Then you're done. You're almost there. You're going to make it. So back to the nutrition. Make sure you're eating something within an hour to a half hour before your workout. Try and keep it something that's easy to digest. Some kind of fruit like apple, orange. Post-workout should be some kind of protein. If you're working out far away from a meal, try and bring some protein powder or a shake. Get any kind of protein in your body to help start that recovery process. It's also important to get plenty of sleep every night. It also contributes to your repair process. All right, last set. Let's do it. That's good. All right, last 30 seconds. Ready to go. Do the best you can. If you're too tired to even do any jumping or walking at this point, just hold yourself up. Just put all the weight on your arms. Ride out the 30 seconds. 15 left. Good, you guys are almost there. Push it all out now. Push it all out. You got nothing left after this. Last 5. Keep pushing, keep pushing. 5 seconds. 2, 1, done. Good job. You guys made it through the workout. I hope you join us again. If you have any questions or comments, please email me personally, tim@fitraleigh.com. I'd love to answer any fitness or nutrition questions you might have. You guys have a great night.